Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Hands in a Radio, where we look at inexpensive shortwave radios, and sometimes we step away outside of that box and get into some good stuff. I'm not saying there's not anything good with inexpensive shortwave radios, just sometimes there's better ones. Today we're going to go back a little bit. The earliest date I have on this, I've seen 2010, 2009, somewhere around in there. Grundig released the G5 AM/FM shortwave portable radio with single sideband. And what a radio. Amazing radio. Comes from eBay. Total with shipping was $53. I have not seen that price in a long time. And I've not seen a better example than this one. This was one of those, what I call the 3 a.m. eBay special. Everybody's asleep at the wheel, 3 a.m. in the morning, and something ends, an auction ends. And I just happened to be up searching around for radios, and I blundered into this thing and I grabbed it. So it was just absolute sheer luck. I don't know if you'll be able to find a G5 for less than $53. Anyway, a lot of people out there have said this very well may be the best portable radio of its size ever. Could be. It has one Achilles heel. Anyway, here's the box that it came in. It came with the box, case, AC adapter, came with everything. I think everybody gets bored with yet another box opening. You can pause it and look at maybe some of the writing on the back here, if that's what you're into. Continuous shortwave coverage, 1711 to 29.999999. Let's just call it 30 megahertz, shall we? 700 programmable memories. Just looking through here, power sources, 4 AA batteries, and all sorts of good stuff in different languages. Well, let's get to the meat of it. This one could be a long video. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff with this. You know it's serious when I bring out the turntable and the acrylic stand. There is a method to the madness. I just wished I knew what the madness was. I hope you can see the display okay. I picked a location that was absolute shaded, and it's hard even for me to see the display. And that's okay. We'll figure it all out. The reason for the turntable and the acrylic stand is not because of the size of this radio. It is 6 5/8 inches across, 4 1/8 inch tall, 1 7/8 inch thick, has a 36-inch antenna. Holy cow, be still my heart. But I don't like to touch it. Way back when, Grundig got this brilliant idea to put a rubberized coating on their shortwave radios. The G5, G6, G3 I think has it. I don't know any of the others that might have that coating on there. It is a rubberized coating that over the years turns very sticky. And I emailed Chuck one day, and I said, Chuck, this thing is like you've just eaten a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it's that sticky feel that you have all over your fingers. That's the way this radio feels. We'll pick up any bit of dust and dirt, and it gets embedded into it where you can't even clean it off. You can't wipe this thing off because it won't come clean. And that's what blew me away with this radio, is there's very little dust and dirt on it, which makes me think it was not used much. Almost wore rubber gloves with this thing just to keep from touching it so much. And that's the Achilles heel to it. If you don't want to screw it up dirt-wise, and if it's not an enjoyable feel, it's okay, but it's not enjoyable. That might be the biggest negative of the whole radio. Outside of that, it's pretty good, I'll tell you that. Anyway, but I had somebody ask on the Yacht Boy 400 video, do I know, or does anybody know in the channel subscribers and people that watch and all that. Is there a way to remove this coating successfully without ruining the radio? I don't know. I'm not even brave enough to try it. I've read of some accounts, different things as we have a truck go by. They have different things. Pledge, furniture polish peels that rubber stuff off and still leaves the writing on it. I don't know how you do that. I've heard all kind of stuff. I'm not brave enough for it, that's for sure. It's too good of a radio to go and bastardize even further, pardon my language. Anyway, enough of that about the biggest negative probably of the whole thing. Great little radio. See, it's loaded up with 4 batteries. It's 12.2 ounces. And I think, as we have more traffic, we'll let them go by. I'm in a different location, and it's Labor Day, so there's probably going to be a lot of people on this road. I wouldn't think so, but anyway, I digress. Where do we start? We've got a nice, I'm going to say it's probably a 3-inch speaker, direct entry keypad. We have our memory buttons here, F1 through 7. They do something, I can't remember exactly what each one of them does. Might be the memory pages, I suppose, since it's 700 memories, probably 100 per button here. I think, don't quote me on it. I don't have, this is one you better have the manual with you, because it can get really deep really fast. What we're doing, we're just staying on the lighter side of fun. Anyway, your power button, you keep pressing your power button, you get a sleep timer. Lock button locks the front end down. Direct entry keypad, already went over that. Volume plus or minus. Always hard for me to remember the volume plus or minus. I always want to go here, or I want to turn a knob someplace for volume, and it's way up here. Single sideband, we flip that on for our single sideband stuff. There is a light to the whole thing, a display light, which is kind of a whitish blue color. Very, very pretty at night. The display is gorgeous in the dark at night or whatever. It's just a beautiful display. And our tuning buttons, auto tuning up and down. There's several different ways to tune. Direct entry keypad. We've got our tuning here. We also have a tuning knob for the knob fans. That's on the side there. Let's just flip it around and take a look at that. Got a tuning knob. Shortwave narrow and wide, which also is for AM also. They call it news and music. It's narrow and wide band. Then we have a fine tuning knob, which I keep thinking is the volume knob for single sideband. And I don't know if it's indented halfway. I don't feel it. I don't feel that indention. Indention, is that a word? Indenture or indention? Indented thing. Anyway, I digress. We have a line out jack to where we can take this, connect to a cassette recorder. Love the cassette recorders. And record off the radio. The backside, not even going to mess with that. Just a battery holder and the typical Grundig blah, blah, blah. We'll go back to the left-hand side here and see if I can see what's marked on here. It does have an external antenna jack. We have I can't see it. I like when my eyes go bad. DX local switch for here, and then we have a stereo headphone jack for the people that like stereo headphone jacks, and the DC adapter, which is included with this little guy. No wrist strap, thank you very much. You know the rules. No real radio should have a wrist strap or an alarm clock. Just my 2 cents. 36-inch antenna. Might as well let's get that thing up in the air, because we'll probably be using that here momentarily. It is a beast. Does have a kickstand on the back, but I just prefer the acrylic stand just so I don't have to hang on to it and get my, I don't know, finger crut. I don't know what it's called. I mean, your hands have stuff on it, oils and things or whatever, and I don't even want to get that on this thing. Anyway, let's dive in and see what we got. I will say this. Oh, I have talked too much already. People are going to say, oh my God, it's been 10 minutes of nothing but bibble babble. Well, this channel might not be for you then. I will, in the evening, at night, 11 o'clock at night or so, I don't think I own a better medium wave AM broadcast band radio. This thing was dangerously amazing. Blew my mind. Every 10 kilohertz, there was something there. And I, maybe the ATS 909X is as good. This thing was beyond. I don't have any way to do a night video right now. Y'all gonna have to wait for that one. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. It is unbelievable. Todderbert will probably do a video of an AM medium wave broadcast band scan at night, and I hope his behaves just as good. This thing's phenomenal. Anyway, enough of me for a moment. Let's just see if everybody can see what we got here. Let's drop down to, just for giggles, let's see if we can get Cincinnati.
Paul and Grossbeck, hello.
Just nothing. Oh, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, just south central Indiana, if people need to know all that data. If you've been playing along at home, you know a lot of these radios won't pull Cincinnati in anymore for some reason, and this thing just yawns. Let's just whittle through. I know I should twist and turn. I'll twist and turn a bit. And during the day, we're not going to have near the luck. There's something there at 630, not sure what it is. There's 610. I don't have my log. I don't even know where my log is anymore. My log is packed away in a box, and I have no idea where it is. Boy, that's a pisser, but anyway, I don't know where my log is. So there's something there. Something on 580. $550. One good thing is the buttons aren't rubberized, so that's a bonus. Nothing there. Let's go on back up. Quickly roll through this. I don't want anybody to get bored and go to sleep. 700, we did that. 740, is that Zoomer radio that we only hear at night? Is this thing pulling that in? We'd have to sit here for the call sign. But this is what just floors me. I've not had any radio be able to do that in the morning, daylight hours. 810. 840. Just kind of wheeling through easy here. Just like I said, you can also fine tune it with your tuning knob if you want to. Oh, okay, whatever. 1017 is something. Wished I had the memory for all this, not memory on the radio, but just the memory in my brain to hold all these call signs and numbers and everything. Old age does that to you. Tend to turn to mush. And you start Yeah, I won't say anything more. There's our local radio station. No worries on that. There's Indianapolis, 1070 The Fan. Let's just jump on up to 1390. Well, there was stuff there. Oh my, there's some stuff here. Don't want to hang out on music too long. This thing is just unbelievable. There's 1390 out of Seymour, about, oh my, I'm about 35 miles away now. You're driving too fast, sir. There's something there. Oh, you don't want me to sing along. That could be bad. I picked this location, just an old abandoned house, but boy, we certainly have the traffic today. I didn't go through all the steps to set the clock today on it. Everybody sees 1700 and panics. It's a 24-hour clock. I take the batteries out of it when I'm not using it. I'm taking the batteries out of everything anymore just because I get these 2 in the morning, beep, 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 beep. The alarm button has inadvertently got pressed. And all of a sudden there's an alarm goes off, or I have 2 or 3 of them go off at night. So I'm taking all the batteries out of everything, and that way there's no accident of waking me up. I'm not a pleasant person to wake up in the middle of the night, I will admit, but I digress. That's 1710. So we've done that. Let's look at FM quickly. No, music, music, music. That's our local station that's not so local out here. Let's just look at Indianapolis. Get an idea of the audio quality anyway. And you can go narrow or wide. Not on FM, but on the AM it will bring up a little brighter or a little bassier, whichever. I just kind of leave it in one gear.
Sometimes I do a sports bar or restaurant to watch my beloved Dallas Cowboys play.
Okay. So anyway, thanks to the copyright police, that's about all the FM I'm going to deal with. I don't like getting a video dinged for that. Good way to lose a channel if we start playing too much music, I guess. There ought to be a way. Anyway, let's see what else we got here as I knock things around. It does also do long wave, and not much there in the long wave range of things. And if I remember where I'm going, let's just pick 2300. Trying to remember if there is there's an enter button to this somehow. There we go. 2300. See, there I go again, trying to reach up for the volume. Oh my. Well, we can just, this thing scans so fast, what it'll do, it'll find a station, pause on it for 5 seconds and then move on to the next. That 5 seconds gives you a chance to enter it into memory or just go seek something else. Well, it's real handy for us because we like to take a fast look at it. Look how fast this thing scans. It is amazing. And we may not find much since it's the daytime, 11 something in the morning. We may not find much at all. It's really proving the fact that it may not find much at all. Alrighty. Well, this is kind of boring. I thought it would do better than this. I was hoping it would bedazzle us. But it's on the automatic search too, and we found that that's not always the greatest thing, that it tends to skip over stuff. What I'll do here in a minute is drop back 10 and punt. It didn't find a thing, did it? AM's pretty good. Shortwave wasn't bad though. On my night scan with it, I didn't think it was terrible. And then it starts all over again. So just stop. Let's just try. See it? That scan should have stopped on that. 10 megahertz WWV. The scan, the auto scan blows right by stuff. You got to be careful with that. Your auto scan, you can trust it. Texans, I trust pretty well. Those radios have that down pretty good. Some of these others will blow right by like this. This is important to me to get some kind of gauge of the signal that's out there. And there's 15 megahertz. It's just amazing. Nothing there on 20. Just for giggles, let's try 25. I kind of doubted it. Let's try 5. And there's 5 megahertz also, 5, 10, and 15. So there is stuff out there. And what we can do is this early in the morning, let's just go to, and there we go. We're just going to manually tool around in here. Don't care for Brother Stare, though. More Brother Stare. He's everywhere. I don't know if I do this. See, it goes a little faster, but gives us just a little bit of a pause. Probably 99.55 might be the next stop. No, let's keep on going. So there's 10. Let's go to 11,600, see if there's anything there. So this is a dandy little knob twister. But see that, well, now I have to give it some leeway that 8, 10 years old, however old this is, pieces and parts start to get old and worn out, and the auto search function just may not work like it used to. I don't know. I wish we could go back and find out. But just turning the knob, there is, we're finding stuff left and right. Let's just zip up to, I don't know, 13,600 or so, somewhere in there.
Revenue satisfactory.
Okay, let's keep going here. This might be a good place for our single sideband even. See if I've got a... Come on, talk again. Now use the fine tuning here to try to get him. Talk again. One more time, little buddy. Come on. Oh, this is better than fishing. You're waiting for a little nibble. And he may be done, you never know. I think he just said he was clear. That means he's done. Here's something there. 300's the, what is it, the maritime net or whatever. I don't think they start until about noon or so. Here comes the wind. I apologize about that noise. Somebody was there. You can see how you can dial that in with your fine tuning. If we had a long wire hooked up to this, the world would be a lot better. I'm just trying to show the radio as it is out of the box. I think I've talked about that before in other videos. Okay, we're way above that. Let's just try an old 7200. Trying to hurry to keep people from falling asleep too. It's a different thing if you can sit in your recliner and just gradually turn a knob. Where you can, like I said, you can sit in a recliner and just gradually turn a knob, versus here I'll put everybody to sleep. Not always my intent. A lot of activity today because it's a holiday. Okay, we'll come on down here. I heard something. It's just a lot of little ins and outs. And that's there we go. Finally got something dialed in.
We've got ice cream and lemon shakes and fun things like that.
Ice cream and lemon shake sounds good to me. And but there's the single sideband end of it. It's a beast on single sideband. We can already see that.
73 to you, and this is Whiskey 3 Bravo. Whiskey 3 Bravo calling CQ. CQ special event. Whiskey 3 Bravo.
Wished I had the radio hooked up. We'd be talking to him. Alrighty. Well, that's about the end of that one. What a great radio. Absolutely phenomenal. This thing is just amazing. The Achilles heel is the rubberized coating. That's the big turnoff to the whole thing. We could see just what little short wave we rolled through. It's just stellar. I don't know if I could get anything down here. See if I can see if I'm in the right gear or not. Probably not right now. It's too late in the day for down here. Anyway, I'll give up for right now. Fantastic radio. One of my absolute favorites, that's for sure. And it's sad because it's kind of like that Grundig Mini that we looked at. Absolutely loved that little thing, but what I wanted it for, it didn't work well. I wanted it for outside, in the daylight, walking around, whatever, and you can't see the display in the daylight. And some people have said maybe it's a defective radio. I don't know. I've read a lot of complaints of people that can't see the display. Don't know. It just doesn't, and my point is it just doesn't fit my purpose, doesn't fit my needs. This fantastic radio, but I don't want to hang on to this rubberized yuck, and I don't want to screw it up anymore. I'm a little apprehensive about being out here in the dust and pollen and dirt and corn and stuff and everything else, that anything will hit it will just stick to it, and that's the end of it. And so it doesn't fit my purpose. Fantastic radio, yet I rarely touch it because I don't want to touch it. I can see it's already got some dust and stuff on it, and there's no, you can see there's no recovery from that. It's in there. So that's, if it wasn't for the rubberized coating, in its price range, I think the MSRP on this was $79 way back when. I think that's what I saw someplace. $79 radio. I don't know if there's one even better. I don't think the PL660 is any better than this. Just my opinion. I know the XH Data D808 isn't any better than this. Again, just my opinion. In its price range, pretty daggone good. But boy, is it grimy and nasty. I would almost like to have a second copy of this thing just to use and get nasty and grime up and dust up like this is already starting, and just use it. And I guess that would be okay. This one I want to try to keep as pristine as I can get. I don't know. Anyway, I have babbled way too long on this one. I think everybody can tell it's a pretty good radio. And if you can ever find one with a decent price, it'd be worth grabbing. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Let's all wave at the car go by again. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the little bell thing over there that does nothing. I don't know. It's supposed to do something. But anyway, hit the bell thing, leave comments. Maybe you have a G5 and you figured out how to get this rubberized glop off of it. Let me know what you think. Let's see what else. Oh, the most important part, pass the plate time. There is a link down in the description box that even starts with the word please help by donating to the channel. It's a link to PayPal. Safe and secure. All the donations go to buy more radios like this, just to bring content to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. It doesn't matter if it's $1, $2, $5, $12.50, whatever it is. It all goes to buy radios like this, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I know that times are not always great for all of us. And I know there's a lot of people that can't donate a thing. Just your support of the channel, just by being a subscriber, a commenter, a viewer, that's good enough. And that's okay. We all do what we can do. I wished I could donate to more channels and support them. I just, monetarily, I can't. I can't do it and keep this thing going. And that's for sure. So anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else on this thing that just dazzles me that we ought to talk about. I think we got about all of it covered pretty well. I think so. The wind's starting to pick up. See, I stall like this because I'm trying to think, what else have I forgotten? And I know there's probably something I've forgotten. I may add a little caption or something down at the bottom and say, oh, there it is. Anyway, I'll quit rambling for now. Hope you have a great week. Get out, pick yourself up a neat shortwave radio. And there's a lot of stuff out there. Even if you don't understand the language, I find myself just listening to it just to see if there's anything I could understand. And especially the music is fantastic from around the world. I get a kick out of that. So, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I already said that. I will see you at the next review.